Yeah, they put their foot on our necks, but we let them, so what you expect? When the last time you picked up a book? When the last time you wrote your own check? Yeah, we all up on IG and Netflix, and the devil, he got you on chill. He's scrolling and trolling your life, you can't see he destroying, cause he got you still. It's your vision that he wanna steal, and your mission that he wanna kill. No condemning, I'm keeping it real. It's conviction I want you to feel. And I'm praying today that we wake up, and the mess that we made we can make up. It's because of a skin that they hate us, don't know what it's gonna take to shake us. Listen. And I'm not pacing, I'm just patient. They thought that I was moving slow, they didn't know I was waiting. Yeah, it's my season, it's my reason. I talk with God every day, I'm not into people pleasing. And forever I'm for God, and I just want you to know without him, life is hard. So get your heart right, get your house in order.
Hello, I'm Charcy Curtis, better known as Sister Diva out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. This is the IM4GOD Movement podcast, where we allow everyday people to tell their testimony. I have a special guest with me today. Of course, all my guests are special, but I have a very special guest with me today. For those that want to know who's behind this brand sometimes, that do all my work and making me lazy, I'm introducing her today. But y'all, she's taking a break. So, you know, I'm just lucky right now. But I'm just glad to get her testimony. So I'm going to allow her to introduce herself. Look, y'all, I'm a little nervous because usually she'd be behind, like I said, she's behind the scenes. A lot of stuff I do that y'all think I do, she'd be the one to do it. But anyways, like I said, I'm going to allow her to introduce herself to y'all, let her know what she got going on, what she's going to do nowadays. Like I said, she's taking a break right now, so what she told me. So, Tina, tell them what you got going on, who you are, what you going to do now, because I know you told me the other day you're going to take a break.
I am.
And thank you again for coming.
You're so welcome. Anytime. Anytime. Hello, everyone. My name is Syntina. I'm your favorite Southern Belle, and I'm a CEO and serial entrepreneur of 919 Southern Belle, where I currently run 7 companies. I own and operate 7 companies with my family or other partners, and I also am one of the many faces behind IM4GOD.
Yes. So you're gonna tell me I can contact with you. You're gonna keep that information yourself. I'm not mad because I'm not in contact with y'all. But you're gonna tell me I can contact with you. What?
Definitely. So the quickest way to get in contact with me is through Facebook. So you can find me on Facebook. You can just search my name, Syntina. I'm a first name kind of lady. So if you know Syntina, you know me. And you can also find me on Instagram at 919 Southern Belle and also on Facebook, 919 Southern Belle. And that's the best ways to get in contact with me. Also on LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn as well now at 919 Southern Belle in Clubhouse. So if you are on Clubhouse, we can definitely connect there as well.
Okay. Well, let's get in these questions.
Yeah.
Because we have so much to talk about. This is not Beyond Time on here, y'all. Just let y'all know this is part 1. But how was it like for you growing up as a child?
Well, growing up for me as a child was so different. I am the second youngest of my mother's 6 children, and I've just gone from being the second youngest to the oldest. And so growing up for me as a child was different. Because everyone in my family really loved me and showed me a lot of love, showed me a lot of support, regardless of what they were doing in their lives that may not have been the right things to do or the best things to do. I always received love and support, and people let me know, the sky is the limit, that I can really do or be anything I wanted.
Okay. It was beautiful when you told me your parents allowed you to, they didn't force religion on you.
Yeah, so that's another beautiful thing about growing up with my mom, I would really say. So my mom, her name is Sabrina. Her nickname is Sugar. My nickname is Cinnamon. My little sister nickname is Spice. So we kind of have that going. And growing up as Sabrina's child, you could pick whatever you wanted to believe in. If you wanted to be atheist, if you wanted to be Muslim, if you wanted to practice Buddhism or Hinduism, if you wanted to be a 5%er, like my mom supported you and loved you regardless of what you wanted to be. So I really had an opportunity to choose what I wanted to believe in and to explore fully without having the repercussions of what about if I be rejected or not accepted from my family.
Okay. I think that was something very important.
Yeah.
But you believe, your belief is?
Yeah, I'm a Christian.
Okay.
I tell people all the time I'm Christian because to be Christian means to be like Christ in all things. It's a challenge to be like Christ. or to try to strive to show people the same kindness and love and mercy and grace that he shows us consistently, that is a challenge. Yet that's what I claim to be. I don't want people to be confused.
Right. You might be a little confused for me because let me know who you are.
I don't want them to be confused. Right. I do, know that we all are spiritual beings, and we have the Holy Spirit inside of us. Yeah, I do identify as Christian.
Okay. Yeah. How important is relationships to you?
Relationships are vital to me.
Okay.
Relationships that are equally conducive, relationships where there's an equal amount of give and take, where both people can be in the receiving position. That's very important to me. Just being able to have people that you can count on and that you can trust. As I shared before, I've gone from being the youngest to now I'm the eldest of my mother's children. And so the relationships that I make, I understand that they will impact not only this generation, but the next 2 generations of people that I'll come in contact with. So they're vital for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
If the word I was a person or the word we was a person, which one would you say you are and why?
I used to be a big we person, but now I am an I person because I realize my relationship with God is focused on me and not on we. And so only I can control what I can control. Right. Only I can be what I can be, and only I can do what I can do. I can't do no more. Right. Regardless of if I'm depending on you to do it or if it's all of us included. I've become much more of an I person as I realize the people that are we's are collective I's. So you have to be like fully sufficient and fully ready within yourself before you can really collaborate and become a we. Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, I like the way you put that together because, I mean, at the end of the day, like you said, you at a point right now, I agree. The I is you right now.
Yeah,
but she definitely is a we person, y'all. But y'all done drained her out, not me. Yes. But y'all done drained her out, so she need to take some me time. So it's all about, I get it. I totally get it. Have you ever been in a dark place? And if so, how did you bring yourself out of it?
Yeah, so I went through a very dark time. I've been divorced, and I'll just share this because this was the darkest time I've ever had in my life. Okay. I found out that my sister had passed away, and then I found out that my house was getting foreclosed in, that I wasn't living in. I had gifted someone, family members at home, and they didn't pay for it. And then right after that, I turned around and I found out my ex-husband was cheating on me, like all within.
Oh, you got a hit.
Like, boom, boom, boom. It was like a trifecta. Right. It was the trifecta, okay? And at that point in my life, I really, for the first time, I've tried to impress myself. And so I had just finished reading Shonda Rhimes' Year of Yes, which is like, it's a book by the wonderful Miss Shonda Rhimes, if y'all don't know her. She is the writer of so many great TV shows that are on television, and she's Black. So at the time, she was one of the largest Black writers and producers, and she wrote this book called The Year of Yes, and I had just finished reading it. And I decided that I was going to create my own Year of Yes, and I was really going to try to impress myself. And so what that looked like was every time that I wanted to say no to something, or that inner voice inside of you just says like, nah, we're not going to do that today, or like, nah, we're not doing this, you say yes, and you challenge yourself to impress yourself. Like, what does it look like when Syntina impresses Syntina? Not when she's trying to impress nobody else, but what does that really look like for yourself? And so through that, I really focused in on my skin. I focused in on my teeth. I remember the first time that I ran home from the gym after a workout, because like, who wants to run home from the gym after they already worked out? And so like really just trying to impress myself and figuring out what does love look like for me? Because one of the biggest things was I really honed in on my relationship with God during that dark time. I mean, during other times, like I've had a traumatic life. And other times I really just focus in on, if God is trying to, you know, how you love your neighbor is how you love yourself. Well, how do you really love yourself?
Right.
Like, what does that tangibly look like in my challenge to impress myself? Like, physically, what do those things look like on my everyday basic? And that was one of the ways how I really began to pull myself out of that dark place.
Okay, so for that wife or a woman out there, you would recommend that book for her to get?
Yeah, I would recommend definitely reading Year of Yes by Shonda Rhimes.
Okay.
It would be a great place to start at, to just feel encouraged and motivated if you ever do feel stuck in life.
Right, and that's a lot of that going on.
Yeah.
Is, you know, people feeling, and when you just said something about loving yourself, you know, it's sad because you'll be surprised some people don't know how to love themselves.
They don't.
They love the other person more than they love themselves.
They do. They do. You know, that's something that's learned.
Right.
Like, you learn how to love yourself.
Yeah, you
and
have
and
to.
sometimes, like, as Black women, we are taught so much to love other people and to nurture other people, and it's really like a second nature to us to automatically take care of someone, especially if you have any younger siblings. It's like, well, look out for your little sis, look out for your little bro, or maybe just the dynamics in the household just caused that for you, and you just stepped into that role, yet you never stepped into the role of loving yourself. So it's just an open space there for you. It's like an open void for you to feel for yourself.
So I got a challenge for y'all women out there, and teenagers and ladies and whatever. Love yourself, and if you don't know how to make that, make it try. You know, what is it? The affirmation mirror. Make your own affirmation mirror. Whatever you want somebody else to tell yourself.
That's right.
Do it for 21 days. Guaranteed mindset gonna be changed.
Definitely.
These questions. What keeps you grounded?
I'm grounded in humility. I don't think God ever lets my head get too big. Also, I deal with a lot within my family. I come from a very interesting family that people would not think that I necessarily came from. And that keeps me grounded to know what's important is trying to reflect and raise the next generation of Nesbitts to understand how great that they are and understand the opportunities that they have, and to really understand that they are the cream of the crop. Like, you are whatever you decide that you can be. That really keeps me grounded. I have 18 nieces and nephews all together, so I'm a real auntie. I'm a real auntie in these streets. And so, like, really just trying to be grounded in their lives and understand that what I'm doing is for a legacy for those other Nesbitts that are coming behind me.
Okay. What is something you asked God for? You wish you could have been a little bit more specific about it.
Ooh, so many things. But yet, I'm a very specific prayer. Okay? So I will say that.
Okay.
Like, I'm the type of person that be like, because I got to choose what I wanted. So I chose at 19. So, like, at that age, my relationship with God was like, okay, God, like, you said you gonna do this, and that. So, like, you gonna do it or no? You know, like, that was really my relationship. And so, like, now, just really knowing that what I pray for, he will ask. Like, if you ask specifically, he will give it to you. Knowing his word, I would say I don't wish that I asked for something different, because I'm grateful for where I'm at right now. I wouldn't change one thing in my life. Yet I know when you ask for what you want, it's really given to you. So you just need to get very specific. So if you need, like, just last month, I told God, like, God, I need $20,000 in my bank account.
Right.
I need that for my survival. He gives it to me. And I'm very firm on telling anybody that anywhere. If you ask him for specific things that you need for your life, he gonna give that to you. No questions asked.
As long as you're doing his work now, don't get that twisted, y'all.
That's right. Yeah.
Don't work like that now.
Yeah. Or, you know, I will say,
if it's in his will, yes, he will.
but I will say sometimes it does work just like that. If you doing it or if you not doing it, because God gonna bless you.
Oh, yeah, of course.
The blessing gonna be for you if you acting right. If you not acting right, it's gonna be for you.
Yeah, but some things you can't go. It gotta make sense now.
That's right. It do have to make sense. And what you're trying to do, yes, for all the people
that's
out there.
Yes, you talk to the world now. You have to listen. You can't be going.
You do.
But that's because I be like, no,
you know, you do have to be aligned. You have to be aligned, and you have to be in position to receive the blessings that He's really trying to give you as a person.
Yeah.
I do agree.
Yeah. And sometimes, you know, like you said, he'll give it to you, and just to show you you're not ready for something.
Yeah.
Just so you'll crash and be like, you know what? I thought I was ready, but I'm really not ready.
I'm not ready yet.
And you know what I'm saying? Then sometimes he hold it back just because he know you're not ready. He know the mistakes you're going to make. So he say, no, not yet.
Definitely.
And like, you know, the saying go, our plan and his plan is totally different.
Definitely.
Totally different. How did you turn your pain into power?
Pain to power. Pain to power is something that I learned when I was younger. When I was just 19 years old, I had an abortion, and people don't know that about me. It's a lot of things people don't know about me, and really that was the first time I tried to turn pain into power, because I felt so much brokenness in that moment. And I decided to decide who you want to be, like who you gonna be today, who you gonna be for people, who you gonna be in this world, what type of impact are you gonna make, because it's never too late to reinvent yourself or to decide that I want to start over, that I want to turn a new leaf, that this is who I'm gonna be despite anything that I have been, and that is how you turn pain to power, is that you get very focused about where you're trying to go, even if it's not a perfect trajectory of how you're going to get there. Just knowing that this is where I'm trying to be at is a way that you can focus that energy into something positive.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
What would you like people to know about you that they don't know?
I really want people to know that I truly am first generation everything in my family. I'm very proud of that. Especially now, given everything that has happened within my family, and I'm able to speak on it more. I want people to know that I'm human, like I'm not a machine, no matter how smart I am, no matter how much I can produce, no matter how much money I make or that I can make for you or your business, that I'm still a person behind all of that. I'm still just a young lady. And I desire to be treated as such.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would you say is different about the old you versus the new you?
I'm not a people pleaser. I don't care if you don't like me. And that's cool. Like, I'm cool with me. I'm so fulfilled within myself in the things that I say yes to, that I'm okay if I have to say no to you, even if it makes you upset with me, because the things I'm saying yes to are really getting my power and my energy.
Okay. What was that moment like when you realized God was real, without a shadow of a doubt?
I would really say when I first left my ex-husband and I came to Fayetteville, I packed everything I could fit up into my 2-door Mustang. And I drove away and I came here, and so there is a scripture that talks about God providing manna for the Israelites when they were lost in the wilderness. And sometimes in our life, we get lost in the wilderness of life, and we don't really know which way to go, yet God provides. He provides water. He provides food. He provides shelter. Like, God provides manna for us. And I knew that God was real when I left, like, my high-paying career, and I left, 2 houses, and I left businesses behind, and I just came and I decided to just be. And God has blessed me so much during this time and during this transformation, that I know God is real because of where He has brought my life to, because where I am right now are moments that I prayed to be when I was in a negative situation. I prayed to be here now, and I'm grateful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What's more important to you, loyalty or respect?
Loyalty. Loyalty. People will respect you for a check.
Oh, yeah.
People will respect their boss. If you got money or you got something that they want, you got something that can get them further ahead of you, they will respect you. And then also people that respect, on the other end of that is disrespect, which, comes just as equally. So I appreciate loyal people, because loyalty has nothing to do with me and everything to do with you and how you handle and manage relationships, and how you want to continue on living your life. And it says everything for how you want to treat me. And likewise for me, how I want to treat you. My loyalty means more than any of my respect does.
Okay. What comes first to you, imagination or vision? And why?
Imagination. Definitely imagination. If you don't feel it first.
Right.
You can't even see it.
Right.
So I tell people all the time, like, vision is imagination with your eyes open. So when I work with clients, or whenever I'm working with entrepreneurs and I'm trying to get them to change their mindset on something, it's really about dreaming with your eyes open. So you have to imagine yourself there before you can envision yourself there. So imagination takes in all the senses: what you're going to wear, who's going to be there with you to celebrate, like how your hair going to be, you know. Imagination is so much. Where will this take place at? And then the vision is kind of what you need to do, the actions you need to take to fulfill your imagination. But imagination starts within your dreams. Like, don't ever give up on those. Yeah.
What comes to your mind when you hear a person say, you cannot love God and money?
I tell them they foolish. I used to think that too. God tells us we are the head and not the tail.
Right.
So I would tell them that they really are unaligned with what God's promises are for you if you don't think that money and God align, because abundance, blessings, it comes from God, and the anointings of money comes from God. And see, money is only a currency that is traded for services rendered. Your service that you rendered is God-given. Right. It's a God-given gift of what you can do. This hair, God-given, baby, okay? And the money exchanged is just a medium or a currency. So you have to disassociate your beliefs on your faith that you may have attached negatively to money.
So would it be fair to say money's a tool?
Money is a tool.
Yeah, that's
just
what,
a resource.
I mean, it's like I said, the question is a tricky question.
Yeah.
And I'm basically, trying to get people to understand, like, you shouldn't be loving money.
No.
You use it as a tool. You should like it. You should like what it do. But love should go off to God. Because if God wants you to have it, He going to make a way.
Definitely.
What comes to your mind when you first sing I'm for God? Like, what does it mean to you?
Oh, man. Like, I'm for God is really like, I'm for God. This body is for God. This brain is for God. I'm for God to use. Like, everything in my life that has happened to me is for God. It's not even for Syntina. It's not for these businesses. It's not for these brands. It's not for anything. It's really for God to get the glory in my life. That's really what it means that I'm for God. Also, it truly means in some relationships, because I'm for God, you may learn a difficult lesson with me. And this may not be an easy relationship for you because I'm for God, and I stand true in what I believe, and what I know, and how I act, and how I project. And that may be a challenge for you, but that challenge ain't got nothing to do with me. It's really because I'm for God. So this is really everything to do between you and God. And I just know I have the grace. I'm gracious enough to accept however it may come, or however it needs to come out.
Okay. Leave the people with something positive.
Trust in your emotions. Trust in how you feel. How you feel is everything. Don't not trust it. Because God gives us our emotions so that we can elevate our understanding and become more aligned with who He's called us to be.
Okay, I want to tell you, I thank you for coming. And I love you so much. And I thank God for, allowing us to meet when we met. So that's a testimony amongst itself.
It is.
And that's why it's going to be back, y'all. But God is so good. I mean, I want to tell you, give your flowers to you now and let you know I appreciate everything you have done for I For God behind the scenes that y'all don't know about. And I just, my prayer is that God just give you overflow. That God sets your mind back to wanting to deal with y'all people. Because I get it when I want to, but But I just thank God for you, and I'm so excited to see where God is going to take you. We all go through things. Nobody's perfect. But like I said, I thank you again for fitting me in your busy schedule. And I thank y'all for all tuning in and checking out, seeing who I may have on, because you just never know. I love you, but God love you more. Until next time, see you.